Hello everybody and welcome to the STIHL Timbersports European Trophy 2025, coming to you live from Lage Vuursche. And of course, next to me, the man with the chainsaw voice, Troy Mannering, who's ready for competition. We saw the time trials already. Absolutely amazing. We're ready for a big competition.
It is going to be a busy competition. We have 16 absolutely fantastic athletes, and in reality, any one of these guys could take our championship today. We both have our favorites. There are a few favorites that are out there as well for our audience, but we're going to keep mum about that. It's going to be a fantastic competition, so I think we should just get this thing underway as quickly as possible because this is a fantastic format. I love this format so much.
And we're ready for the big stage, so let's see what's happening there right now.
Hello everybody from all over the world! And welcome to the European Trophy 2025. We are very excited to be here in the Netherlands in the Lage Vuursche, and we hope you are too! All right, let's move on to the introduction of the officials of today. Give him a warm welcome, our Global Sports Director of STIHL Timbersports, Spike Milton! Let's move on to our two judges, Bart Jansen and Andrew Hall! And we also have a video judge. He's in the trailer right now. Let's give it up for Jules Jansen! And now, the heroes of today. Let's bring the athletes on stage. Here is Armin Kugler from Austria. From Italy, Alessandro Chiapponi. From Great Britain, Graham Turner. From France, Alexandre Meurice. From Belgium, Camille van Raamdonk. From Great Britain, Glenn Penlington. From Italy, Andrea Rossi. From Belgium, Koen Bartens. From Germany, Danny Martin. From Swiss, Oliver Reinhardt. From the Czech Republic, Matthias Klima. From Poland, Simon Grunwald. From the Netherlands, Redmer Knol. From Sweden, Emil Hansson. Also from Sweden, Ferry Svan. And last but not least, from Poland, Mikhail Dubicki.
What a picture. Europe's 16 finest athletes competing for that prestigious crown. That's going to be a really, really good competition today, Troy.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolutely fantastic competition. We've already gone through the time trials earlier. The order that the athletes were brought up was the order of the time trials from slowest to fastest. So Mikhail Dubicki was the fastest and last year's champion as well. So he's here to defend that title again. And you saw him come along and shake everybody's hands along the way. It looks like he was like giving everybody a nice smile, but a crushing grip on the way through to let him know that he's here again to take that title back. But there are a few guys that really want to have that title back or in their hands as well. Among others is the local hero, Redmer Knol, who competed yesterday and was a fantastic winner in the Benelux Championship. So it's going to be an interesting competition today because now in the round of 16, we move into the eliminations.
Absolutely. And how this works, well, we're going to show you in a short clip right now.
The STIHL Timbersports Trophy competition. In the trophy format, athletes have to complete 4 disciplines back-to-back. After the start, they need to cut a complete disc with the stock saw within a 10-centimeter area. From there, the athletes have to complete the underhand chop as quickly as possible. Only after they split the block can they return to the starting point, where this time, the single buck is waiting for them to cut one complete cookie. In the final discipline, the athletes have to complete the standing block chop in order to achieve the best possible overall time. Any rule infraction will result in a disqualification and the athlete will be eliminated. All participants must first demonstrate their skills in the time trial. The better the athletes perform in the time trial, the easier their first elimination round will be. The 4 fastest go straight through to the quarterfinals, while the 5th to 12th placed athletes battle it out in the last chance round in knockout duels for the remaining quarterfinal spots. The athletes now continue to compete in a knockout system through the quarterfinals and semifinals. The losers of the semifinals will fight for the last podium spot in the small final. After that, the 2 winners of the semifinals will compete one more time to see who takes the title.
So we started off with 20 athletes, 16 remaining. That means we're in the round of 16, followed by the quarterfinals, semifinals, and so on. These are the results, Troy, of the time trial. As you mentioned before, Dubicki was the best. He, of course, is the reigning champion. And in second place, just like in the last European trophy, Ferry Svan. So this might be something that we've seen before. What do you think?
Yeah, it's very possible. You know, we've often seen these guys on a collision course with each other. Michael Dubicki, a very, very strong. Ferry Swan, he's been kind of up and down with the trophy format the last few years. But Emil Hansen and Redmer Knoll are right there. And as I mentioned earlier, Redmer Knoll is one of those guys that's on an upward trajectory in the world of timber sports, and he's definitely hoping that on home soil he can do some damage here today in this trophy format. So,
and he cut a world record yesterday. He had a national record in the time trial, so this guy really is on fire. Let's not forget about Simon Grönwald.
Oh yeah,
one of the biggest talents we've seen in the last few years. He could be like one of those guys to turn everything around again.
And he's up against Camille van Remdonk.
Oh,
Camille's first time in an international trophy or a format here, and so he's a very interesting character to keep an eye on. Like you mentioned, he's a dark horse for me. Simon is the unicorn. But let's get into it with heat number 1 here, and Mika Dubicki against Armin Kugler. And remember, folks, we are now into the knockout format, so loser goes.
Yes, we don't care about the times. We just want to see who finishes first. And as we mentioned before, it's the fastest against the slowest of the time trials. We're going to have the second fastest against the second slowest, and so on. So in this first round of 16, we have a clear favorite, but everything and anything can happen, and we've seen it before.
Yeah, so many times. I mean, you know, in years past, we've had guys that were touted to be the strongest competitors in the field get eliminated because of injury, because of a DQ, because of any number of minor mistakes that happened during the heat, and guys that were unexpected to get into the next round did make it. So it really is a format that allows for all sorts of craziness, and that's why I love it. You know, anything can really happen here on that stage between these two guys, and when it comes right down to it, it's also about who has the mental acuity and stability to really be able to push through, knowing that it could come down to a couple of chops of the wood.
Very true. And Armin Kugler's been here for many, many years. He's somebody you don't want to go up against, even if he has a time that you think you should easily beat.
Yeah, he's a 10-time national champion back in Austria, and this is his 8th trophy.
Wow. And I believe he's always made it to the last 16, so a force to be reckoned with.
3, 2, 1, go!
Great start by Mika Dubicki. He got on that saw right quick. And Armin Kugler going for a thin-to-win cookie there, but he left himself a little bit behind for that single buck as it comes later on. Now moving on to the underhand chop, and you can see the power and the speed of Dubicki from Poland as he gets into that first side, and he'll be shifting over right now quickly to that second side, and he should be through and over to single buck pretty fast as he's been working that block nicely. Armin Kugler on that second side as well, not too far behind, I don't think. I think maybe 5 or 6 drivers away from getting through there. Oh, wait, I miscalculated on that one. It was only 2 drivers, and Armin Kugler is an excellent single sawyer, so he may well have a chance to catch up here.
Oh, but look at Dubicki go.
Dubicki so fast. Is anybody going to be able to take him down? It is insane how quick he is.
And that is a clear message to the rest of the field. Round of 16, here I am. I'm the man to beat.
Just passing the minute mark there, and Dubicki's done it in 1:02.55, but thereby eliminating Armin Kugler. Now, Armin's going to keep fighting through this. He wants to make sure he gets himself a time in the books because these guys still get points based on times. It's really important for them to log in some solid times because, remember, the top 10 athletes from this event here will be able to compete at the World Trophy.
Absolutely right, and that's where everybody wants to be, of course. Best time of the day by Dubicki, even faster than in the time trial.
1:02.43. I think our fastest time in the time trial was his time of 1:04.86. So, yeah, he's picking up the pace. Interesting.
Okay, and the winner is Michael Dubicki.
Also nice to see that they have more than one axe with them for this competition, even though they don't have a lot of time and follow through all 4 different disciplines. They might change an axe. We've seen that happening.
It has happened, and we actually watched these guys in the background before when they were testing their axes. you know, seeing which ones cut the wood better and what wood was exploding out by what axe head. So it's really interesting. But if we look back here, that was a really nice cut by both of these guys. But right there you could see Dubitsky just getting into that wood so quickly. And the pace at which he hits, he's like really, really fast with his hits. It's insane how quick he is. He gets through there. Now, Armin Kugler was really not that far behind. It was 1 or 2 drivers, and he gets through there, and he heads over straight away to the single saw. And I mentioned Armin's quick with the single saw, but I have never seen Dubitsky cut a single saw that fast. And I would have to say that is a very, very quick single saw alone might have been close to a record cut.
And let's not forget, he knew he was in the lead, so you could think that he still has a bit of reserve that he's saving for the quarterfinal, for the semifinals, wherever it takes him.
Yeah, and I've spoken to a couple of the guys in past as well, and they say if they know they've got a solid lead on somebody else and they're not really worried about the next discipline, the next 2 disciplines like the single saw to the standing block chop, then they'll settle down. They'll save a little bit of that energy for the next heats coming up, because it is a long day when you think about it. You know, from the time trial, then the round of 16, quarterfinal, semifinal, finals. That's 5 heats of non-stop action that you have to be ready to go for. So, I mean, these guys have to be fit. They have to have that power, the accuracy, and they have to have the drive to keep going.
I talked to Olli Reinhardt, and you can watch this actually on Instagram if you're interested, by the way. And he told me, you know, 4th round, this is where it starts getting ugly. You feel like you have a lot of power in yourself. 2nd round, 3rd round, 4th round, he couldn't feel his arms. His muscles were just sour, and he had to more or less stop the competition because there was nothing left. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah. It's like getting climber's lock, you know, when you're gripping those holds all the time.
Oh, wow. This for me is like the heat I would not be able to make any predictions.
Yeah, it's a tough call. Both these guys were really evenly matched up, and they went against each other in the time trials, and now they're up against each other here in this round of 16. Danny Martin is a highly motivated athlete. He wants to be the guy for Germany, not only in the trophy format, but also in the individual format with the 6 individual disciplines. Koen Martens, I mean, he's been around forever, it feels like. He is absolutely the granddaddy caddy of the sport. He knows all of the guys. He's seen all of the action. He knows when it's time to turn it on and when it's time to mellow it out a little bit.
And one of the nicest guys
one of the nicest guys
you really
as
have
well.
to say.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100% there. 11 billion%, I would say. But, you know, he has such a history here that he can win just based on his experience alone.
And I mean, I look at a guy, he's an athlete. I mean, he is still really, really well in shape, and he's proven it. You know, yesterday he claimed a silver medal here at the Benelux Championship. So just like Redmer, he is on fire, and he wants this. And he only lost to Danny in the time trial by a margin.
Yeah, it wasn't even that much. And the other thing, too, is that normally we see Koen training from January on. He only was able to start training in May of this year because of a capsule syndrome that he had in his arm that needed to be operated on. So it's kudos to him for being here.
Timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
So Danny Martin is always super, super comfortable with a saw in hand. And you can see there he had a really good cut.
Oh, look at Koen.
He got away from that saw a little bit slower than Koen Martens did. Koen Martens is about a half stroke, maybe a full stroke ahead of Danny Martin as they got into the underhand chop here. But Danny Martin's got power. Yes, accuracy isn't really 100%, but he switched over to the other side now, about 2 strokes behind Koen Martens. And Koen Martens looking very good here. And Danny Martin might be close to getting through that block. Is it going to be ahead of Koen Martens?
Yeah,
it's dead even between the 2 of them as they head towards the single saw now. A little bit of pressure here for Koen Martens because he's very, very good at the single saw.
Oh,
but
look at Danny
has
go.
been showing his worth in this discipline as well. And it looks like Danny Martin's going to be the faster of the day here.
Impressive. That was impressive.
Yeah, it was really, really nice cut from Danny Martin as he goes to the standing block chop. And watch Koen Martens, though. He is the come-from-behind king. But Danny Martin, he backs up his team in the standing block chop, and it's Koen Martens moving to the second side ahead of Danny Martin. This may well be the closest seat of the day so far.
Oh my word, oh my word, everything and anything possible.
Is Danny Martin going to get eliminated once again? No, he's not. Danny Martin makes it through with 1:11.21, eliminating Koen Martens, and we were both tossing the dice up in the air here. It could have been anybody's battle on that one, but this day went to Danny Martin from Germany.
Also an improvement to his time trial from Danny Martin. Wow. Of course, we have to wait for Andrew Hall.
So, and the winner is Danny Martin.
Did you see Danny's face? He knew how close that was. What a heat, fantastic.
Absolutely, I mean, you saw that breath of relief at the end, right? Like, whew, you know. But it was a fantastic heat right from the get-go. So as I said, Danny Martin's really, really quick with the saw. He got in there fast with it, and he had a nice, clean cut.
But Koen's transition, he's so athletic.
Yes. And right here you see, down with the saw, straight over. Now, a lot of guys are wearing the big cans as ear protection. Koen Martens opts for the in-ear, so he doesn't have to take them off as he heads over to the other block, which is actually a pretty smart idea. And he got into that block, but Danny Martin transitioned to the other side, actually behind Koen Martens, but you could see his drivers were just right on point. Now, as I said, not super accurate, but he's got so much power and his frequency of hits is so quick. And here, this was probably one of the best single saws I've seen from Danny Martin in a long time.
And that was for the win, if you ask me.
Yeah, absolutely, and that got him the chance to get onto that standing block chop. Now, had Koen joined him on the standing block even just one hit earlier, I think it would have been a lot closer because Koen is that, as I said, that come from behind kid. And so he really does do a good job on the standing, but today it just wasn't Koen Martin's day. But I'll tell you what, he's going to go backstage, he's going to have a smile on his face, he's going to congratulate the boys, and then he's going to step up behind Camille van Remdonk and say, okay, it's your day, let's do it.
Just checking his time compared to the time trials. And it's also an improvement. So he can be pleased with this performance.
For sure. And I mean, we're going to see that, I think, throughout the day. There's not going to be a lot of chances here where these guys that are in this round of 16 are not improving on their time trial runs. It's very often a tactical decision when they are doing a slower time in the time trials, believe it or not. Yes.
The roar in the crowd for Ed McNall, the national champion. I always feel like the quarterfinal is the strongest heat of the athletes because there's still so much power within. But, I mean, we've been proven wrong so many times. And also, this is not going to be a walk in the park for Ed McNall against Alex Maurice.
No.
Even though he definitely is the favorite. But we've seen Alex perform, what was it, 2 or 3 weeks ago at the French National Championships. And he surprised us in almost every discipline. This guy is somebody who keeps improving and improving. Very impressive.
He's a very cerebral athlete when it comes to this. And I mean, you and I both sat there and talked to him. And you know, I said, you have to be a bit tactical. And he says... or rather, I said to him, hey, you're a pretty tactical athlete. And he says, look at the size of me. I have to be tactical, you know. And I mean, it was funny the way he said it, but there's actually truth to that because he's one of the smallest athletes in the group. But he is very quick and very smart.
Okay, gentlemen. Woman Cassors.
Now, tail of the tape definitely gives the advantage to Redmer here.
Well, he holds the world records in the stock zone now, so he must be at least for the first discipline.
Here we go. Let's see if he can hold it to the state here.
3, 2, 1, go!
Nice even start by both of them. Redmer looking like he's got a really good cut there. Clean through, takes his time getting
that's
out
what he
to the
said
front.
about Alex.
Yeah, Alex Maurice quick on that underhand chop up front, and he makes his own axes and actually distributes and sells them to the other athletes as well. And he was quick to that second side.
Wow, and the pace.
Might be in trouble here a little bit as he's trying to have gone deeper on that first side. Look at the accuracy of the drivers there from Alex Maurice, but Knoll was through quicker, and he gets to that single saw. Alex Maurice on the single saw now as well, so it might come down to a battle on the standing. Oh no! Alex gets a very sticky cut there, and now Redmer Knoll has moved over to the standing block chop advantage. Knoll at the moment, and he is about 4 or 5 drivers ahead of Maurice as they go to that standing.
Time.
That is a massive lead as well as he moves to the second side. Alex Maurice just getting finished on his first side and moving to side number 2. Let's see what his time is going to look like. Oh, that's a great time, a national record as well for Redmer Knoll. 1:04.46. The adrenaline is pumping, and he has really made a difference here. Alex Maurice wants to get through there as quickly as he can. He's got 1:18.34. So that's definitely better than his previous time. He gets a personal best. So great job by both of these guys, but what a nice run from Redmer Knoll.
And we said he's on fire in the time trial, already a national record. And he's beaten that in this round of 16 again.
Second fastest time on the day and a national record. So great job by Redmer.
And the winner is Redmer Knoll.
Nice.
Now that's a way to kick off the competition, and
Indeed.
heat number 4 has something very special to offer. But before that, of course, we're going to take a closer look at those slow-mos and see where Redmer changed the whole competition, because Alex had a wonderful transition from the stock saw.
He was quicker out of the stock saw, believe it or not. And it's funny because you can see he even made sure to put that saw down carefully, because that's one of the rules. That saw has to be standing. You can't throw or slide that saw. It has to be placed. So
seen a number of DQs
at all. We've seen DQs, as you mentioned, in the past where this happens. And right here, it was actually Alex transitioning to the second side of his block, but Redmer just went for it on that second side. He had a nice clean cut through
Beast.
there. And then on this single saw, you could see in the background, Maurice was having all sorts of trouble with the draw through here.
Yeah.
Angle change, and he got all hooked up on those little curved parts on the front and the back of the cut, and that stopped the saw. And that thing is a bear to move. That's why they call it the misery whip. And then, of course, heading over to the standing block chop, it was Redmer Knoll all the way. He was well ahead by the time that Alex started on his first side. He was already getting through on his second side. So Redmer Knoll, we will see him in the quarterfinals, and unfortunately for Alexander Maurice, he is eliminated, but he does take a personal best time. So this time is
best way to go
for him looking down the road, because again, we were mentioning that the top 10 athletes from today's competition will move on to the World Trophy next season.
And regarding it was his first European trophy of his career, but full respect to the man.
He can be proud of what he pulled off here today, absolutely.
Yep. And, I mean, it's still alive, the chance to be one of the top 10 here in Europe and to make it to next year's World Trophy. Imagine that. It's been a great day so far for this young man from France.
Yeah, most definitely. He is currently sitting in 5th place in the times here, so it's a really good position for him to be in.
Talking about young talents, take a look at that heat.
Well, what are you going to say about this? Simon Grunwald from Poland, you know, personal best under a minute. This kid is phenomenal. Camille van Remdonk, he had a 1:21.71. This was his first personal best that he's ever logged in a trophy format, because this is his first competition. Now, he is an unusual talent. He's been around the sport since 5-6 years of age, holding a wooden axe here when his grandpa was competing regularly. And so he, interestingly enough, I think, will provide Simon more of a challenge than what a lot of people are giving him credit for. I'm the first to say that I think perhaps Camille van Remdonk will win this one, but if he wants to win this one, he's going to have a few things on his side. A little bit of luck, a little bit of good wood, and a lot of, what do you say, rear wind, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's going to be a tough call, and you know that Simon Grunwald is going to be highly, highly, highly motivated. And if Simon gets through this one here, I could well see him being on the podium today.
Oh, I can always see this guy on the podium. For me, he's one of the biggest talents we've seen so far. But Camille has been so impressive, and his preparation has been so professional. We talked about it before. He's only 18 years of age, but you talk to him and it feels like he's been around for years and years because he's so mature, and his attitude is perfect. So I think it's a year too early to beat Simon, if I'm honest. But trust me, this guy in 1 or 2 years, oh my word.
We'll see.
To your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Very nice start. Oh, so this is where Simon has the advantage. He has the experience of knowing what to do with the ear protection and the glasses.
The pace of these guys.
Both of them hammering away at that block. Simon Grunwald onto that second side, about 2 drivers ahead of Camille van Remdonk. But Camille is not letting him get away from him very fast. Now Simon moves to the single saw. He is an excellent single sawyer. One more driver there to make sure that log is split. And Camille van Remdonk moves over to the single saw, struggling to get it started, but now has it going. Simon, however, is really, really, really quick here as he's gotten through to the standing block chop. And Camille van Remdonk is not giving up, and this is going to be a good time for both of these guys as Camille steps onto the standing block as Simon is already on side number 2.
Wow.
So I don't think there's any question here. I mean, I had thoughts of maybe Camille really testing Simon Grunwald, but Simon Grunwald a 58.86, and Camille van Remdonk doing a great job here, and you can see how beautiful those sides are on that block that he's cutting. His accuracy is so good, and that makes him quick, and we're going to see good things from this young man. And again, another personal best.
Full
his
respect,
first competition, 2 personal bests in this competition.
And he's 18 years.
18 years of age, and there are big things in the future for that young man, absolutely.
100%.
But Simon Grunwald is going to be moving on to the quarterfinals, but we definitely have to say a big slap on the back for Camille van Remdonk.
And Simon Grunwald, the first athlete today to stay under a minute.
Yes, and he takes over the top time as well.
Simon Grunwald.
Another great heat.
And that means right now that Simon Grunwald will go straight to the quarterfinals. Definitely going to the quarterfinals. Who am I talking about here?
But why should he not?
All right, you can see. So Simon actually had a very, very nice start. So did Camille. But right here, we see, we don't get to see it, unfortunately, but Camille took a little bit more time taking off the ear protection, taking off the glasses, and getting to the front. And this is one of those things that I talked about, the experience of Kieran Martins. He has the in-ear protection, and he can just go straight to the blocks without need to worry about all of the other superfluous stuff that's lying around. And here you see Simon Grunwald quick through there, excellent single sawyer, and he did a great job here, just using that entire saw length. And
this guy is an athlete. He's a beast.
And he's so rangy as well. He's got long arms that they go all the way to the ground. You can see the power in his arms as well. And that's something that Simon has a problem with, though. He always expects that final driver to go straight through, but he cuts it too far on the other side of the block, so there's almost always a little tab left there, and he's like, ah! And then he has to go back and hit it again to get it off. So
yeah, but if you still end up with a time under a minute, I think that's quite okay. And of course, you have to
efficient with that, right?
Yep, and he is definitely one of the favorites for the title now.
Yeah. So getting to the quarterfinal is a big deal for him, and that he is under a minute tells me that he is going to be a force to be reckoned with. I would not be surprised to see him on the podium today, if not the top spot. And to be honest with you, it would be interesting to see Simon and Miguel Dubitsky going up against each other, the 2 poles in the same heat.
Definitely one to watch. Ferry Svan, who's coming up in the next heat against Alessandro Giabboni.
One of your favorites, Ferry Svan.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I believe he's going to win the European trophy at some stage. Maybe 2025, maybe 2026 or 20, but he's definitely going to be one of the winners. Got second last year, so why not take the trophy home this year?
Yeah, it's been an interesting few years coming out of the rookies about 5 or 6 years ago for Ferry Svan. He's that guy that sort of forced everybody to take a look at their fitness and make sure that they were really doing everything that they possibly could to be as fit as possible. And that's the trend we're seeing here. but he's been in an intense battle in Sweden with Emil Hansson, who is also competing later on today. We'll see him in a heat against Graham Turner later. These two guys are definitely the future of Swedish timber sports, and both of them in the pro ranks now. They've been kind of going back and forth. 1 year it's Emil Hansson, 1 year it's Ferry Swan.
Very true.
The one thing I will say about both of these guys is that some small hiccups tend to trip them up a little bit more than they should. And I think that both of them have managed to solve this issue. And so now these two guys are really, really, really in top form, both mentally and physically.
Yeah, it's a new generation of STIHL Timbersports athletes, and very impressive to see a lot of these youngsters, you know, coming here with national records, personal bests, and competing really on a top level. That makes this so enjoyable. And I think the 16 athletes we're getting to see here are all fantastic. But Ferry Swan, you know, one of the guys I would not mind seeing on the podium, maybe even on the top spot today, I have to say.
I wouldn't be at all surprised if we see Ferry Swan break a minute, and I also wouldn't be surprised if we see Ferry Swanning pushing Alessandro Chiapponi to getting a personal best in his run as well. Now, Alessandro Chiapponi is a special individual as well.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I mean, he's out there competing all the time, but not only that, he is constantly on the road helping other athletes train, making sure that you know, he gets out there and really is, you know, promoting the world of timber sports in the most positive way possible. And that's something that you know, you have to respect because of the way that he is just generally about the sport. Travels with Marta Poletti as well, who was our women's champion from the Benelux International Women's Cup. And I believe their training regime together has really improved both of their timber sports games. So, you know, this is a great thing to see.
Woman pursues. Athlete ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, very nice start from Alessandro Chiapponi. He's got a very interesting style. He's low slung here as he heads over to the underhand chop, right on pace with Ferry Swan. Now here's where the pace changes significantly. Ferry Swan getting into that block, and look at the amount of drivers that he's hitting in there. Basically, you can count 2 drivers for every one of Alessandro's, and I mean, it is quick. But Alessandro over on that second side, great accuracy, great power from his side, and he is right there with Ferry Swan as Ferry moves to the single saw. Now, Alessandro's got a bit of a sticky axe here on the second side. The block didn't want to go through, so he's in a bit of trouble right now as he heads to that single saw, and the saw doesn't want to start for him. And now he gets it going, and he gets it stuck again. So really, Ferry Swan, huge advantage here as he's just making the 50-second mark on that standing block chop. And Chiapponi struggled a bit to get that block cut through on the underhand, had a bit of a slow start on the single saw, and now he moves on to the standing block chop. I thought maybe we'd see a faster than a minute time here from Ferry Swan, but it doesn't happen for him. And one more driver will drop the block at 1:11.70. Chiapponi on his second side now looking for a good time as fast as possible. Oh yeah, and that one wiggly block there, a personal best for him, 1:25.37.
Oh, wow.
So nice to see the personal best drop always, but that time puts him right now near the bottom of the list at 10th place. But he is at the moment among the top 10 to go on to the World Trophy. So there are a few guys still to come, but yeah, Ferry Swan looking good today, and currently he is sitting in 5th place.
That, of course, always is only in the ranking for the World Trophy.
For the timing, correct. All right, so here you can see 2 different styles completely as they enter into the block. It's a very deep style of sitting down in his haunches for Alessandro Chiapponi. Works well. They both got to the underhand chop quickly, but you could see the amount of hits for each time that Ferry Swan is going. He's
the pace,
so
the
quick
speed
with the
is...
axe. It's a bang, 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 you know? And Alessandro Chiappone's got a very accurate driver, very nice, clean hits, but on that second side, he just had too much salad in the way and couldn't get through there. You can see Ferry Swan, nice, clean cut on the single saw. He's an excellent single sawyer. And then once he got over onto that standing block chop, he was well ahead of Chiappone. Chiappone started on his first side as Ferry Swan moved to the second side of his, so there was really no chance except for a major breakdown from the side of Ferry Swan, which basically means his axe handle breaking and him not having a backup on stage.
But I'm wondering what that time is worth and how fast Ferry could have been, because if we look at Shimon Grönwald's time under a minute and Dubitsky's 1:02.43, do you think that Ferry, if he would have, you know, stayed pushing, could have been within that time limit the two Polish athletes have put up so fast? I'm not quite sure, to be honest. I think
that's a tough call, because it looked to me like Ferry was really trying his best to stay on pace and keep his pace and play his game.
That's what I felt, yeah.
But like I said earlier, it could be that he saw that Alessandro was fairly far behind, and so took a deep breath and then just slowed things down a bit. I didn't see it. It didn't appear that way to me, but it's very possible that he did that in order to save a bit of time. Because
if yes, it was a smart move.
My prediction was he was going to be under a minute, but you know, his personal best prior to this year was 1 minute even, more or less, and some change at the end of that. So, you know, he can do it. I know he can do it. It's just a matter of is he willing to push it at this early stage. But now it's going into the quarterfinals, so he's going to have to start upping the pace a bit.
Two of our favorites.
Yes.
Olli Reinhardt, Andrea Rossi.
Couple of absolutely fantastic gentlemen. Andrea Rossi from Italy, and that man right there, Olli Reinhardt from Switzerland. I think Ollie's struggling with a bit of tennis elbow. I'm not sure. I didn't ask him about that. Did you speak to him about that?
I spoke to him, but not about that, no.
Well, thanks for that tidbit.
Yeah, always happy to help. Now, he's also one of those big talents and one of the guys who loves to go to Australia and New Zealand to practice. Still, that big win is still missing in his collection, and I'm a bit surprised, honestly, to not have seen it yet, because I felt like maybe 2 years ago that he's like one of the big players that are coming in the next few years, and I'm sure he has it in him.
Yeah, he definitely has it in him. It's just about breaking that one boundary that's sort of in the way of all elite athletes. Everybody experiences it. And it's just about, you know, getting past that, and then once you're there, it's almost like a sigh of relief after, you know, a scary moment, right? It's that aha moment, and then you step past it and you go, oh, that's how it works. Here we go.
Athletes, ready!
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Great start by Olli and Andrea Rossi. Andrea Rossi, nice clean cut there as he'll step over and get onto that underhand chop quickly. Now, Olli Reinhardt has been training down under with our Australian friends, and you can see that influence on the way that he chops the underhand, going for quick, very, very speedy drivers, not really worrying about the accuracy all that much. Andrea Rossi on his second side, but you can see Andrea has a lot of accuracy, and his chips are flying out like crazy, and it's going to be Olli Reinhardt getting through that block before Andrea Rossi does. Andrea Rossi's got a sticky part on his second side. He's got to hit it one more time to make sure he's through, otherwise that could become a DQ for him, and those extra 3-4 hits really cost him time because he stepped down as well. And we already see that Olli Reinhardt is on that standing block chop as Andrea Rossi, who's got a great single saw. I mean, his cut was fast, but he is just too far behind right now as he heads over to the standing block chop, and Olli is on his second side here, and I expect 2 or 3 more drivers for Olli should probably do it. There it is. 1:12.65, so
not too bad.
Not too bad as far as the times are concerned. Olli Reinhardt currently sitting in 6th place. Andrea Rossi trying to get himself a decent time here, and he drops it at 127.24.
So Ollie in the quarterfinal.
Yeah, unfortunately for our big man, Andrea Rossi, he is eliminated from action here today.
And the winner is Oliver Reinhardt.
Oliver.
Oliver. He's got that Spanish tongue for our Swiss guy.
For a Swiss athlete with the Australian accent.
Yes. That's quite a funny situation with Oliver and with Red McNoll as well. You know, they've been down in Australia training so much, and they come back and you ask them how they're doing. As good day, mate. It's all good, you know.
Amazing.
But here you can see Andrea was actually quicker over to the underhand chop, and he got into that block about 1/2 to 1 stroke ahead.
Yeah,
of
but
Ollie
Ollie was
Reinhardt.
amazing on the underhand chop.
But I mentioned the frequency of the drivers from Ollie Reinhardt is just a little bit faster, and he got over to the second side ahead of Andrea, but Andrea's accuracy and his power is so good. Unfortunately for Andrea, he got a couple of sticky axes, and then he thought he had the cut through, stepped down. You can see him, he loses his balance a bit here, steps down. He's got to be real careful that he doesn't swing that axe when his foot is on the ground.
Oh, no.
And those
DQ,
last 3
yeah.
drivers there cost him time getting over to the single saw. And Ollie, I mean, both Ollie and Andrea are fantastic on the single saw, but Ollie was just a little bit ahead of the game here today. And here are the last couple of cuts for Ollie Reinhardt. Really nice follow through, and you can see how sharp those axes are. It's just a clean slice through that wood, eh?
I love this fella.
Yeah. Couple of great guys. And I mean, you never like to see any of the guys eliminated, but that's just the nature of competition. You know, somebody's got to go and somebody's got to win. You know, there's always a winner and there's always a loser.
I actually like that.
Yeah, I mean, hello, that's life. Welcome to it.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, get a helmet.
Yep.
Yeah.
So heat number 7 coming up. Emil Hansen and Graham Turner. What about that one? You have a favorite? You got to go with Emil Hansen as the favorite in that.
Officially favorite, yeah, Emil Hansen. Personal favorite, Graham Turner. Mostly because he gave me a cigar one time. No, I just think Graham is another one of those guys that has unlimited potential that just hasn't really been tapped 100% yet. You know, you can see the time difference between these two guys. So like I said, tail of the tape, official favorite here is Emil Hansen. But there's that little shield that's waiting for Graham to break through. And once he breaks through there, I mean, his skill level is there. He can absolutely destroy blocks, you know? It's just one small thing here or there.
Oh, he's a strong man.
And he is a strong guy, you know, for a little fella.
And we've talked about it many times, but Emil Hansen seems to be one of these athletes that were made for this competition.
Yeah,
he's so fast, he's so flexible,
and he has the pedigree of his dad, right? Hans-Ove Hansen is a legend in the sport, and you know, what better way to learn the sport, especially from one of the best single sawyers in the world and the guy who trains all the rookies at the Rookie Academy how to cut accurately with a stock saw. So, I mean, if you're going to learn from the best at 2 disciplines, that's the guy, right? And then, of course, you know, having to train with other guys like Ferry Swan.
Not in bad idea either.
Yeah, or Ponte Schier, or any of these fellas that are up there in Sweden. Learning how to cut with an axe, you just have that perfect storm. The only thing is Emil needs to be able to, or must be able to, collaborate all this together and make sure that it comes at the right time.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
There you can see the skill level of Emil Hansen with that saw in hand as he gets a very clean cut. Pretty even over to the underhand chop as he and Graham both get into it about the same time. Half driver behind as Graham Turner as he gets into that block, and both of them cutting at pace here. Graham with power, Emil Hansen onto the second side already and working to get through there. Graham Turner moves over to his second side now, and it won't be long before Emil Hansen gets through that block, but Graham Turner doing a great job to chip that thing out in a big way. A bit of a sticky axe there, and Emil Hansen gets through. It would be one or two more for Graham Turner here as he gets started on the single saw. Emil Hansen does, and here comes Graham Turner onto the single saw for his chance at a go. Emil Hansen drops the disc and moves over to the standing block chop. Graham Turner still working about the halfway point of that single saw. Emil Hansen on that standing has a huge advantage now as he moves over to side number 2. And this should go to Emil Hansen, assuming that everything goes well the rest of the way for him. Graham Turner on his block now, and Emil Hansen drops it with 1:07.18. Graham Turner may well have a fast time here today as he slips over to the second side now and starts working on number 2. One more should do it. That thing's wiggling and waggling. There it goes. Personal best, 1:24.61, as I called it. Great job by Graham Turner. And like I said, there's just one veil that's in the way, one veil that's blocking him from making that next stride and really taking you know, a step to the next level for these guys, because he absolutely is a quality athlete. There's no doubt about it. You know.
And the winner is Emil Hansen.
And again, if I had that secret formula and I'd said, Graham, do this, then I would be a rich man, right? But, you know, it's for these athletes to find for themselves. So a lot of the time they need to have that aha moment. It's just like when you're trying to learn something like, you know, skating or biking or something like that, and you have that, oh, that's how it works. Okay, here I go. And you can see here, both of them left that stock saw right at the same time. Really, really nicely done by both of them. It was Emil Hansen over to the second side a bit quicker, and you can see he was really, really nice and quick. So if you look at the sides of the walls, there's no steps at all. It's very, very smooth. Yeah, and Graham going for those power hits. And then on that single saw, I mean, if you've got a dad who's Hans Ove Hansen, who is an absolute master at the single saw, you're not going to be good at it, right? If you aren't, you're getting disowned. And you can see there, Emil didn't need to do that one extra hit. He saw that thing wiggle and then drop down.
Au revoir, goodbye.
That's all she wrote, and one final driver there from Graham Turner as he just holds that piece of the block attached to his axe on the bottom like it's nothing. Yeah, that's the power that guy has.
Hashtag STIHL TIMBERSPORTS if you're enjoying yourself, or maybe if you're here in Lage Vuursche. Well, why not post your best pictures? I prefer this hashtag Kiss My Axe.
That's my favorite as well, Kiss My Axe.
A lot of pictures from Troy on me if you if you use that hashtag, by the way. And we've got one more heat coming up, also very interesting one. Glenn Penlington, also one of the nicest and coolest guys on tour, against Matthias Klima. And this guy has a history with this format. He really, really likes this.
Yeah, I mean, he really likes it, but it doesn't like him sometimes. Glenn Penlington, the British champion, needs a quick time here as well, because we'd like to see him compete at the World Trophy next season as well. Matthias Klima, so by luck or by crook, has managed to get into the higher rounds now. You can see the tail of the tape has a slight advantage going to Matthias. Glenn Penlington has been working hard, though, and we know his fitness level is on point. So really for him, now it's just about putting that all together, as it is with everybody, making sure that those steps that he has taken to make sure his training is up to par are going to come to play here in this heat against Matthias. So a couple of really good guys that are going to be ready to go here and put the pedal to the metal in this trophy format. So last placement of those single saws in position. Glenn, an excellent single sawyer as well as stock
gentlemen.
sawyer.
Warm up your saws. Athletes, ready.
All right, here we go.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Very nice start. Both of the guys going for a slightly thicker cookie off the hop there. Both of them moving over to the underhand chop and getting started right away. Matthias, lots of power. Glenn Pendleton going for pace on that one as well. You can see how quick he is.
Oh, my word.
Matthias, shortcut on the first side. That could cause problems for him on that second side. Glenn went a little bit deeper on the first side and might have an easier time getting through that second side if he is accurate with his drivers. Matthias Klima left a lot more material on that front side as Glenn Pendleton is through at almost the same time as Matthias
my
Klima.
word.
They head over to the single saw, so it could come down to the single saw. Pendleton is a fantastic single sawyer. Matthias Klima has obviously been working at this discipline because he is looking very, very, very good. And it's Matthias Klima getting over to the standing block chop about 2-3 strokes ahead of Glenn Pendleton. Glenn Pendleton on that standing now. He usually anchors his team in the team competition on standing. Matthias on the second side now. Will Glenn Pendleton be able to catch up? It doesn't look like it's going to happen. Matthias Klima getting close to the edit. He's done it. 1:08.47 for Matthias Klima, and he eliminates Glenn Pendleton here. Glenn looking for a fast time now as he's trying to get through that block, and there it goes, a 1:17.80 personal best for Pendleton. Great job by him to get that personal best, unfortunately out of competition today, but that was a nice bit of progression from him. I'm a little bit surprised that he didn't have a faster single saw, though, because that is really a strong discipline for him.
Wow.
And the winner is Matthias Klima.
But both of them fully out of breath. It must be so exhausting to do this within a minute. I mean,
Unbelievable, hey? And we just noticed there that after adjustment, Glenn Pendleton has the national record for this format. So you can see there they got right into the wood really quickly. This was about as even as it gets right up until the single saw. So here we see they're both heading towards the underhand chop. They're nearly identical in their drive in and the entrance into that underhand chop. Glenn picked up the pace a little bit. Matthias was a shortcut on this first side, which is surprising for me. I thought he'd go a bit deeper. It was only 5 or 6 drivers on that first side, but he did manage to use that
maybe
power
he wanted to put
advantage.
that pressure on Glenn, you know, that I'm already on the reverse side. And
yeah, maybe it could be, but then you could see both of them get to the single saw. Now there, Glenn was a little bit slower. It almost looked like he had some stickiness to the saw, and the advantage definitely went to Matthias, who was quicker, had a very nice single saw there, and then we see that final driver from Matthias, and Glenn working on his block on the other side was just a little bit too far behind after the single saw to catch up with Matthias. You could see the disappointment on his face, but a national record and a personal best for him. So he'll have to take that.
could be worse.
It could be worse. He'll have to take that to the bank. Let's put it that way.
So let's see what quarterfinals we're going to get to see. The reigning champion, Michael Dubitsky, taking on Danny Martin. Then we're going to see Redmer Knoll against Simon Grönwald.
Ooh,
wow,
tough
that's a toughie.
Tough heat.
Ferry Swan against Oliver Reinhardt, and in our 12th heat and the last quarterfinal, Emil Hansen and Matthias Klima, the man we've just seen competing.
Yeah,
wow, that's what I have for you at the moment.
That heat
better
between
than we
Ferry
thought.
Swan and Ollie Reinhardt should be very interesting. These two guys have gone head-to-head before. In fact, I believe that it was Ollie Reinhardt, Ferry Swan a few years ago when Ollie cut his finger really badly.
Oh, in Vienna.
I don't remember 100% if that was the case, but nevertheless, those two have definitely been on the blocks against each other before, so should be interesting.
Someone we're not going to see in the competition anymore, but who we want to congratulate to a national record is Glenn Pendleton, and he's on stage for a short interview right now.
All right, Glenn, talk us through your heat. I think underhand was really good, but how was your feeling?
Yeah, I was pleased with the underhand there. I think I kept with Mateus just about, so that's pretty good for me. He's a great underhand cutter. Bit disappointed with my single buck. I think I tried to shortcut it too early, right in the bottom there, so I wasted a bit of time there. And yeah, the standing block there, and I probably could have gambled a bit more, get a better time for myself, but at least I got a PB, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, well, personal best, it's great. What do you think of the public?
Oh, fantastic crowd here. I'm sure they're going to keep getting behind everyone, and yeah, it's going to be a great rest of the competition.
All right, thank you, Glenn. Back to the studio.
Well, thanks very much, Martin.
Nice.
That's the way we made with Glenn, but he's such a nice character. And what you mentioned before, that personal best to take home, that's something nice, you know.
And I mean, he even mentioned it himself, you know, he didn't have the best single saw. I've seen Glenn single saw many, many times, and he rips through that block normally really quickly. So he said he tried to shortcut it, tried to save a little bit of time. Didn't work out for him this time.
But that's what this competition is about. You know, got to adapt. You got to change to things. It's not just your daily routine. You got to watch your opponent, and you got to adapt to that. And
improvise, adapt, and overcome.
Yeah, and I thought he was doing a great job because just sticking to his routine wouldn't have brought the win. So he at least tried his best, and he got very close. So that was
he did at
nicely
that.
to watch.
I mean, you know, it really all came down to the single saw, which a lot of the times this competition does come down to is that single saw. That single buck can make or break a lot of these guys as long as they get through those first two disciplines more or less at the same time. You know, you get a sticky saw and you're behind by a couple of drivers on the standing block.
And that's what you're missing. Quarterfinals coming up. The top 8. We started off with 20 athletes. Now we're down to 8. And one of these heats is going to be very special. Red McNoll versus Shimon Grönwald. I think that's going to be one of those makers or breakers. Because both, you know, we talked about it up front, both of them could be on the podium. Both of them could maybe even take home the win. But now this is the quarterfinal. One of them is not going to make it to the semis.
Yeah, and I mean, for Red McNoll, this is a very, very challenging heat. He's obviously going to have the audience here behind him. The minute he stepped on stage during the introductions, the whole audience stood up and was like, yay! So, yeah, it's going to be fun to watch that one. But we got a couple of heats to get through before we get to that heat with Redmer and Shimon. And
quarterfinal number 1 coming up.
Yep.
Michael Dubitsky, the reigning champion, taking on Danny Martin, who is super motivated. We saw him backstage. He is so focused. He is so prepared. But is he prepared enough to beat the man, Michael Dubitsky? What do you think?
Well, they call him the machine for good reason. Huh? You know, you talk to the guys backstage when he's testing axes, and everybody kind of, you know, surreptitiously looks around the corner to see how hard he's hitting the block.
You noticed that as well? That's exactly what I thought. It was so fun to see.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, when he swings an axe, you feel the air move away from the axe. You hear it whistle through the air.
Not me, because I move so far away. Because I'm a bit scared of what's happening when he.
If you're a dummy like me standing right next to him and listening to that, you know, you can really hear it. It goes, you know, and then it impacts that block, and the whole block shudders, and everybody around it's going, okay, interesting, you know, and then all the guys are like, what axe am I going to use now?
Okay, gentlemen, warm up your swords.
A couple of years ago at the European Trophy in Poland, Michael Dubitsky had to back out because he injured his arms, and that left the space wide open for other athletes. So maybe Danny Martin can take advantage of his training now. Let's see.
Oh, wow.
Really nice start by Danny Martin. He's so solid with the power saw, and he gets onto that block right away. Now watch the underhand chop from Michael Dubitsky. He's so quick with the axe. He doesn't even bother with aiming. He's just all about power and speed. And you can see a dark spot in the middle of that block as it's Danny Martin over to the second side ahead of Michael Dubitsky.
Oh, my word. Do we have a competition on our hands now? Look at that.
Indeed. And it's both of them ending that underhand chop and heading to the single saw. Very on point with each other. Danny Martin. Look at the cut from Danny Martin. And Michael Dubitsky's looking worried. He is panic cutting right now, but he is fast through there, and he gets over to the standing block chop. Danny Martin right there with him.
Look at the times.
And the times are very fast, unbelievably quick. In fact, you are right, Floaty. Danny Martin on that first side. Dubitsky moving to the other side. Danny Martin on the second side at the same time. Oh my goodness, how close is this? Is it going to be Dubitsky or is it going to be Martin? It's going to be Dubitsky in 1:01.27. Danny Martin, oh my goodness, left a little too much on that first side and is trying to get through there. He's got 1:08.94 and he's like, no!
But what a competitor. I mean, he was really giving Dubitsky a race, Danny Martin.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you what. He's going to look at this film and go, I can keep up with Dubitsky. He knows it.
And he should.
He's right there.
Yeah.
He is right there.
Small things, small details making the big difference. But that was a heat. I really enjoyed that.
That was an exciting heat. That was...
The winner is Mikhail Dubicki.
That was an amazing heat. And, I mean... Danny Martin gave Dubitsky every ounce. He made Dubitsky work for that win. There was no way Danny Martin was going to get off that stage without giving a couple of sweat beads on Dubitsky's forehead and making him think about who else is on stage with him. Watch this. Danny Martin, always super solid with the stock saw in hand. The power saws are his thing, right? The one
but he's improved in all the other disciplines as well. We saw it at the Dach semifinals.
Yes.
This guy is on fire. He is really, really working on himself. And I mean, that is sensational improvement.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. And you can see Dubitsky we always knew he was quick with the axe. But right there, Danny Martin is right with him. He stuck with him. Now here, Dubitsky was panic cutting. He was going with a faster cut. And that can sometimes cause you problems. And Danny Martin was staying calm in his cuts. He was right even with him as he got onto the standing block chop.
Oh, but look at that.
And look at that thing wiggle and waggle. I mean, you just can't deny the power of the machine, right? And that last driver from Danny Martin and his reaction afterwards as well. I mean, I think he thought he was faster time-wise, but unfortunately he is eliminated from competition here today. But what a run from Danny. I mean, that was really, really a good run.
What a first quarter-final. And the next one that we're going to see is Redmer Knoll against Simon Grünwald. I mean, you always say you love this format, but it's exactly the same for me. I mean, this is so good. This is so much fun. And if you're into STIHL Timbersports, well, what more do you want?
Yeah, this is for me the ultimate test of athletes' power, endurance, fitness, accuracy, you name it. You know, throw all of the integers in there, and you know, this is the format that really tests it.
Yeah.
The only thing that's missing here is to throw in the springboard and the hot saw at the end of the competition just for grins, right?
Just because we love watching
just
it.
because we love watching it and because we want to torture our guys as much as possible.
Unbelievable. Crowd having a great time here. And I mean, they should. Our athletes just killing it so far.
Yeah, they are putting on a show. There's no doubt about it.
Redmer Knoll, Simon Grünwald.
So let's put it this way. If Redmer wins this one, then he's going to go up against Dubitsky. And if Simon wins it, it's going to be a Polish semifinal. Should be.
Yep.
Should be.
And if I'm honest, I feel that Simon has so much power within this young athletic body.
Yep.
Also performing best so far with being the only athlete under a minute. You would have to say, even though he's only 20, he is the favorite.
Yeah, the question is, has he emptied his fitness wallet too early? You know what I mean? You know, is his inexperience going to cause him a problem? Is the experience of Redmer Knoll and the calmness that comes with that experience going to be an advantage for him?
I would even go as far as say as the coolness.
The coolness,
I mean, Redmer, he's one of the coolest dudes you can find.
Red is red and stays red, as they say, right? So, you know, this is the thing. Simon is excellent. There's no doubt about it, you know? The question is, has his experience come along enough so that he can settle into this heat and do what he needs to do and get it done quickly? Or does he have a panic in there somewhere and lose his composure?
You want to know what I think?
Sure. Do I have a choice? And you're going to tell me anyway?
No, I have absolutely no thoughts on this. I just want to watch it and enjoy.
I know. It's so hard not to comment, though, right?
Yeah.
Gentlemen, warm up your swords.
Yeah, I mean, both these guys are amazing. Shimon, like we've been talking about for so long now, is an exceptional talent. And Redmer has been on that upward trajectory the last 2-3 years, so it's really tough to call.
Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, Redmer quick on the saw.
Great reaction from the crowd.
That's a good cut for Redmer.
Wow.
And he moves to the underhand chop. Both of them are going to be quick. That influence of being down under and chopping with the Aussies is going to help Redmer Knoll a lot. He's onto that second side ahead of Simon.
Look at that.
Simon's so powerful, though. A couple of sticky axes, though. Is Redmer going to get through onto that single saw where he's so strong in advance? He's going to have the advantage over Simon Grunwald as he heads toward the single saw, and the fans in the audience are already going bananas. Single saw is strong for Redmer Knoll here. It's really good for
but look at Simon
Grunwald as Redmer gets to the bottom of his cut. Now Redmer has got to be really, really solid on that standing block chop. It's
my word, this is a close call.
Simon Grunwald as he is on right.
Oh, look at the athletes
Redmer
go. That was
goes
maybe
to the other
early. I
side
think
of
that
the
was
block.
too early.
Oh, my goodness. Did he go too early is the question. Simon, all the power in the world coming through now. Is Redmer going to be able to do it?
Panicking.
One more driver.
Whoa.
He's gone. Oh, my goodness. Redmer Knoll just a second behind Simon Grunwald.
Oh, there's got to be, they're going to have to get a video check on that.
By just a hair.
Oh,
my goodness.
And look
what a run.
Look at these two athletes, both having a smile, both cheering each other, and they're not even sure who's won this, because I think we're going to have to take this on the video judge.
This is going to come down to a photo finish, but I think it's going to go to Simon Grunwald. Let's see. Oh, my God. My heart is pounding. Oh, holy smokes, folks.
Ich weiß it nicht. So that's what they said on stage, and it's the same here. We have no idea.
Okay, so we have a video check, so we have to go to our digital timing system.
Oh my God.
I told you, that was so close. Jules Janssen, the man in the...
Both of these guys right now sweating bullets.
Oh,
oy, 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 oy.
Hey. Look at that. Jules Janssen here, our video judge.
All right, so it's really about that last driver and how evenly set up was this heat here. I mean, holy smokes.
So they have a split screen where they can see both athletes. And, and I mean, look at that. This seems to be like fractions. No way.
And that's exactly why they have these high-speed cameras here, so they could see whose block went down first. And it's not about which block hit the floor first, it's about who split the block first, and it started to tumble away. So that's why they have to look so closely at it and make sure. So it could literally come down to, because we have a 4-system stoppage in the front where we have 2 people on each side that push buttons when they see the block leave the top. And very often what we see is that the times will be made faster because they're, you know, human error, and then they go to the timing system in the competition control center, and Redmer Knoll is just, oh my goodness, the look on his face right now.
You just gotta love this guy, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is so close. Everything and anything still possible.
Okay, here we go.
So, by 1300ths of a second,
1300
the
of a
winner,
second.
Redmer Knoll.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! 1300ths of a second. Redmer Knoll gets the cut and goes to the semifinal. Wow!
Unbelievable.
That was an incredible heat. What a run by Redmer Knoll. And this is the first time today that we've seen Simon Grunwald over the 55, 57 second mark. He's actually gone over a minute here. Look at this again. The cut from Redmer was fantastic. So obviously he starts to love this saw, which he didn't like before. onto the underhand chop. You could see the influence from the being down under and those quick hits. He gets through one driver ahead, maybe two drivers ahead of Simon Grunwald. Now Simon plays a great game of catch-up here with that single saw. Redmer's through. Simon, one more cut to get there with him and join him on that underhand chop. And we know Simon is a beast when it comes to the underhand. Watch right here. Last driver. Oh my goodness, how close was that? 13 hundredths of a second. That is minuscule, folks. Minuscule. Oh, and you could see the look on his face. He looked over at Simon and went, oh no!
And we're gonna talk to the winner. We're gonna talk to Redmer Knoll on stage right now.
Heat was that. I had goosebumps. I don't know. What do you think of it?
Oh, yeah. I don't know, actually. I thought he had beaten me, but he didn't.
I think this is one of the closest heats ever. Congratulations. I think the audience, it was a big... It helped you, I hope.
Yeah, it helps a lot. I needed to sprint against Simon, so...
So next heat, you know what to do. All right, we are going back to the studio. Thank you.
Well, thank you guys out on stage. That was absolutely amazing, and I love the reaction from Redmer. He said, "Oh, well, I thought I lost it," but he had that smile on stage even at that moment, and now even more. I mean, this doesn't get much better than this.
But I think Simon also believed that he'd won it because his hands went up immediately after he made that final driver.
That's what I mean. I think they thought Simon won, and also Redmer had the same impression. But if you take a look at the cams, and then you see that, what an outcome.
That was so exciting, though. My heart is still pounding from that one. Oh, man, that was awesome.
Whew.
Yep, whew is right.
Yeah, now, next quarterfinal, Ferry Swan versus Oliver Reinhardt. And Ollie, I mean, we talked to him a lot. I'm sure he has saved some energy and some power. For this heat, it's the quarterfinal. This is when normally we get to see most of the fastest times, which I mean, I haven't been right on that because Simon was under a minute in the round of 16. So that's going to be another interesting one to see. And I'd still favor Ferry, though, if I'm honest, on this, just because I've seen him practice and I've seen him, showing a lot of quality in 2025. So maybe he's on the verge of getting to that final again like he did last year.
Yeah, I mean, he's been second in the European Trophy the last 2 years, 23 and 24. I don't know if this is a trend. You know, he hopes not for sure, but we'll see how he does here. We've been mentioning it a lot lately. He is one of the most fit athletes out there. His mom travels with him quite often and will video his heats, and then they'll go back and review it to try and improve on that stuff. So you know, he's got a lot of backup in his family behind him, and his family are very, very athletic as well. His dad competing in the Olympics in cross-country ski. Ollie Reinhardt knows him well, and we'll see how this heat battles
Athletes, ready!
pans out. I'm still panting from the previous heat.
Yeah, but I think there's going to be no tactics here. It's just going to go. Give it all you've got.
Quicker start by Ferry Swan on the stock saw, and he is through to the bottom and takes a little bit longer to get over to the underhand chop, and Ollie Reinhardt managed to catch up with him. Ollie Reinhardt has about a half a head height on him and also a little bit more power. Steps down to step over to the other side, Ferry Swan, and now Ollie Reinhardt about a half stroke behind him on the second side of his underhand chop. And Ollie Reinhardt is keeping Ferry Swan honest here as they're getting close to cutting through those blocks. It's Ferry Swan stepping over to the single buck, and now Ollie Reinhardt will do the same, making sure that his axe is safe in that block before he moves. Now Ollie Reinhardt is an excellent single
this
sawyer.
could be a magnificent time.
Yeah, it's looking like a really nice time for Ferry Swan. Ollie Reinhardt doing a good job to keep in pace with him. Oh, a little bit sticky at the bottom, maybe shortcut a little bit too much, and now Ollie moves on to the standing block chop. Ferry Swan should switch over to the second side fairly quickly. There he goes. Ollie Reinhardt hammering away on that first side, chipping away some big blocks here. Is it going to be Ferry Swan getting this one, or is Ollie Reinhardt going to be able to catch up and eliminate the Swede in the competition here? Oh, it's coming close to it.
Oh!
It could be anybody's. Oh, it's another close one,
Oh,
but this one goes to Ferry
no,
Swan.
no.
That was very, very close, but it was a clear win there for Ferry Swan.
You think
with
so?
1/2 driver distance between the two of them. I'm pretty sure that one's going to go to Ferry, but
That looked
I would
super
not
close
be
to
at
me.
all surprised if we do have video review on that one, but I'm fairly sure this one belongs to Ferry.
Oh. What a crazy competition are we getting to see here
Oh, my goodness, yes.
in Lage Vuursche.
And the winner is Ferry Swan.
Oh, you're right, Troy. But
But look at the time difference. It's barely anything. 34 hundredths of a second. That is nothing.
that really is.
It's an eternity compared to 13 hundredths of a second, but yeah, it's still nothing. I mean, that was a really, really good heat. I'm particularly impressed how well Ollie Reinhardt maintained his composure. You know, the minute that he saw Ferry Swan step away from that underhand chop, he could have panicked and gone, ugh, you know, but he didn't. And here you could see both of them hammering away on that first side of their block. It was actually Ferry Swan that moves over to the second side of his block ahead of Ollie and stepped down while doing it as well. Ollie did a great job, and here Ferry splits the block. Ollie is just a hair behind, had to do one more step back up and one more driver to get through. Now here, Ollie, great job. You can see he's really working that saw. He stayed composed. He didn't panic. He didn't try and speed cut or shortcut the thing. He used the entire length of the saw the most efficient way. A little hook up at the bottom, but no problem. And then he got onto a discipline, that standing block chop, that is so strong for him. And it was only really like 1/2 of a driver difference between these two guys there. And you could see the reaction from Ollie is like, ah, no! So he knew he was that close.
This is getting too much for me.
Yeah.
This is super exciting.
I need a break. I can't handle it anymore. Somebody bring me a coffee. Decaf, please.
Yeah, no caffeine, right? Oh, one more quarterfinal coming up. Emil Hansen against Matthias Klima. Whew. This, of course, is crazy. Semi-final, we're going to see Michael Dubitsky against Red McNall, and then Ferry Swan against whoever wins this last heat. So it will be either his Swedish colleague and friend Emil Hansen or Matthias Klima from Czech Republic.
Okay, so here you have your heat lineup. Emil Hansson, national record, 1 minute and 10 hundredths of a second. Matthias Klima, 1:04 and 38. Matthias been looking very, very good today and obviously highly motivated to be on that podium.
And of course, these guys have seen everything that's been happening, you know, just from backstage and knowing how close these last two quarterfinals have been. And I'm not sure, Troy, do you think they are looking forward to another close quarterfinal, or would they rather lose or win, you know, with ease?
I think if I were going to lose a heat, I would want to lose it by a large margin, so I wouldn't feel bad and think, oh my God, I was that close and didn't get it. But I don't know. I mean, once you're up there, you know, your opinion might change. Interestingly enough, Matthias didn't get really anywhere. He didn't get into the rankings in the European Trophy last year. But interestingly enough, at the World Trophy last year, he was second.
Okay,
in 23,
gentlemen.
he was 10th. And at the
Warm up your
European
swords.
Trophy in 2024, or 2024, he didn't rank.
Yeah, he's very special in this format, and how can I say it? He's been causing his opponents to make DQs for some reason.
Ready.
But that's what this is all about.
3, 2, 1, go!
All right, good start by both guys. Matthias a little bit faster on the cut. but slower to get that axe into the underhand chop, but not by much. And Matthias has got the power and the speed, as both of them are really getting into it here. And both of them moving over to the other side at exactly the same time. It should be very interesting from here on in, as both hammering away. Who's going to cut through first? It's going to be Matthias Klima.
Oh,
Matthias
impressive.
Klima sets it up and gets onto that single side. Now, we know that Emil Hansen is fantastic single sawyer, but Matthias Klima looking good. He is more than halfway through, but look at the speed
very good
at
indeed.
Emil Hansen as he moves over now to the standing block chop. 1.5 drivers behind Matthias
Troy, that's
Klima.
going to be another really,
Oh
really
my
close
God.
one.
Emil Hansen, shortcut
Early
the first
to-
side, moves over to the second side. Matthias Klima went a little bit deeper on that first side. Will that be an advantage for him? Let's see if he can do it. He's got one more to driver, and he's done it. Matthias Klima has eliminated
And look
Emil
at that
Hansen
time.
with
Look
a
at that
national
time.
record, 58.88, the second fastest time of the day today. What an unbelievable run by the Czech. Holy smokes, folks.
Sensational.
Woo!
And by far the fastest time in this quarterfinal.
Yes,
Wow.
fastest time of the day,
Yep. And
I believe, anyway.
yeah, it was 59.78 from Shimon Grönwald in the round of 16, the first time under a minute. And now his time 58.67, so that is more than impressive. And that is quite something, you know, to shout out to everyone else.
Well, talked about the motivation of Matthias Klima, and there were a couple of our crew that came over and said, yep, I think Matthias is going to do it today. So he is definitely one step closer, heading on to the semifinals. As we take a look back at the slow-mos here, he was very good on that stock saw.
But where did he win it? Because at this stage, you know, I felt like, you know, you wouldn't favor any of the two athletes. Everything and anything is still possible here.
Right here, he cut through that block, and he exited that underhand chop about 2 strokes ahead, as you see, Emil Hansen. And quite frankly, he got lucky on this single saw. I mean, Emil Hansen is such an amazing single sawyer. You could see 2 strokes behind off of the underhand, came up and caught up with Matthias Klima on it. And then right there, those last couple of drivers. Now, Emil Hansen shortcut that first side. 5 or 6 hits, I think he went in there, left too much material on the second side, trusting that he could get through there. And Matthias went a little bit deeper on his first side and clean through that backside so much better. So, I mean, good job by Matthias Klima. He really did a fantastic job there against an incredibly strong opponent on stage in Emil Hansen, and he moves on to the semifinals.
And of course, we want to make sure to hear from Emil Hansen what happened in this quarterfinal. So Emil Hansen talking to us live from the stage at this very moment.
Okay, Emil, what a race. It was so close. Please tell us, how did you... I think you take a lot of risk with standing, but tell us.
Yeah, I made a 4-hit front, and but I think it went out pretty good. It was pretty fast standing anyways.
Yeah, it's amazing. Happy you can complete over here with all the European champions.
Yeah, I'm really happy to be here and compete. I'm happy with my day. I made a pretty good time now, but I could have done it a little bit faster, so I'm disappointed with the underhand.
So next year, you're gonna retry it again?
Of course, I will do it again if I qualify to this. So.
Yes, all right. We're going back to the studio. Thank you, and have a good day.
Thanks, guys.
Yes.
I like that. Thank you. And,
thank you, and have a good day.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
everybody's going to have a fantastic day after
Yeah.
this. I mean, that was so impressive. And Emil said, you know, he still stayed on that 1 minute margin. So
Yeah.
that was not bad.
I said it was like a 5 or a 6 hit first side. He went 4 on that first side. I mean, that is a very short cut. You know, he did say it was cutting out really nicely, so he was trying to trust in his axe. What I want to point out here, though, is Matthias Klima with a 58.67 is really only about 1 second off the season's best for the trophy format at 57.01. So, I mean, that was a great run from Matthias Klima, who clearly is upping the ante as we head towards the next round.
And exactly at the right time.
Exactly.
So that was so impressive. He didn't show us any time close to under a minute until he needed to. And that's how champions work. Brilliant
Yeah, and
stuff.
it's interesting, too, because when you get up on stage with a guy that you know is, by the tail of the tape, better than you or should be better than you, that tends to, you know, we say in hockey, you're playing up. You know, if you play a team that's better than you, then you tend to play up a little bit as opposed to, yes, exactly. No, but he did a great job. And I mean, he really, really made Emil work for every ounce of that stage. And Matthias Klima came out on top this time. So there you go. Good job. And congratulations to him moving to the next round.
And now we know the semi-finals. Michael Dubitsky, the reigning champion, taking on Redmer Knoll, so the local hero against the reigning champion, and Ferry Swan against Matthias Klima. I keep repeating myself, but to me, everything and anything is still possible.
So, yeah, it's an unbelievable situation. We're going to get our stage set up, but we also wanted to tell you a little bit about a documentary that's going to be coming out soon, or if it's not already out, that you can check out, called Behind the Chop, and it's about the New Zealand team on their route to the World Championship. Check it out.
I think we've just had a great culture over the years, got some really good individuals, and together we've always got on really, really well.
Stay up! Stay up! You know, real legends of the sport, you know, absolute pioneers of STIHL Timbersports.
Accelerator, brake. Come on.
Turn the cameras off, this is embarrassing.
The team always being super close.
They're like a family.
But yeah, they get along really well and yeah, have fun doing it.
Hey, Bobby, where are you?
Australia would be our biggest rival.
Two teams that know each other very well.
To win, you got to put the hard work in at home, and that's what motivates me the most, to want to win, yeah.
On competition day, it's all about focus, getting the job done.
Come on, Shane! Come on, mate! Your corner and go! Come on, mate! Hard! Hard, Shane! Come on, mate!
Kyle Lemon is back in the team. He's our stock sawyer. Jack Jordan, who's our underhand cutter. Bobby Dowling is our single sawyer.
Freeze, mate, freeze!
Shane Jordan as our standing block cutter.
Sorry, mate. Chin up, chin up. Competing with the Jordan brothers. We don't need to say much about them. Kyle Lemon with a chainsaw in his hand. He's a real legend of the sport. You're in now, no, you're in! It's a real privilege to be up on that stage with those three men. Good cut, good cut. Well done. Fuck, that was an awkward handshake.
Well, Floaty.
Yeah, I'm impressed and I'm super happy to be part of this. And the first semi-final, anyone's game, Dubitsky versus Redmer Knoll, doesn't get much better than that.
This is going to be a tough one for both of these guys because Dubitsky just watched his countrymate, who had the only under a minute time up until Matthias Klima, get eliminated by Redmer Knoll. That's going to be going through his mind. Redmer Knoll is now running on pure adrenaline and confidence. So, as I said, he's on an upward trajectory. So let's see what happens here. He knows what it's about, being the European Trophy champion. He did it back in 23, as you saw from that title graphic there really quickly. So he's no stranger to it, but he's a stranger to it under these circumstances against these athletes. I mean, you rightly said in 2023 it was a flood of injuries and disqualifications that helped him get there.
Warm up your saws.
But who cares how you get there?
Absolutely.
Getting that confidence boost can make a big change in how you are running your show.
Oh, you can really feel the tension
Oh
now.
my goodness, you have no idea.
Athletes, ready!
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Good cut by both guys. Both
head
heading
to
over
head.
the underhand. Oh, Redmer having trouble getting the axe out of that safety block. And he is now 2 strokes behind Mikhail Dubitsky. Dubitsky onto that second side. Redmer
putting the
switching
pressure
over to
on.
the second side. The pressure is really on now. And you can see there's no aiming going on by Dubitsky at all.
Oh, my.
He is just heavy-handed on it. And Knoll is through, heading over to the single saw now. Let's see if Knoll can catch up to Dubitsky on this single saw. Dubitsky's a little bit sticky, but he is through fast, and he is moving over to the standing block chop. Where's Redmer at? Oh, he's having trouble with that single saw. It's not as fast as previous. And he is through. You can see he is tired. Dubitsky moving to the second side of his standing block chop. Redmer Knoll. Will he shortcut that first side? He will. He switches to the other side. He's not going to catch up with Dubitsky. Dubitsky gets it in under a minute. There it is. 58-37.
In the semi-final.
Unbelievable.
What a beast.
Redmer absolutely gutted, tired after that day. Eliminated from action. So we'll see him in the small final, the battle for third place. What a day for him today, though. Wow.
And Dubitsky with the fastest time of the day in a semi-final.
Yes.
After having the time trial, round of 16, quarterfinal. Now in the 4th round of competing. Wow.
Yes, 58-15 at the end.
Oh, even better. Wow.
I think the difference maker here, literally the difference maker here, was Redmer's axe on the way up to the block. We'll see that in the slow-mo. So the cut here, really, really nice. Dubitsky was a hair faster, but it was a clean cut by Redmer as he got through the bottom. Both of them put their saws down even. Both of them headed over to the underhand. But here, right there, the whole block came with them. That safety block moved up. And so by the time he actually got that first driver in, Dubitsky was 3 drivers ahead. So, I mean, that was the difference maker right there. Because really, you know, at the end, he was right there with them on the speed of the single saw. He was right there with them on the speed of the standing, maybe a little bit less on the standing because he was not seeing the advantage of continuing to go at pace. But yeah, he looked over really quickly. You could just see the little side eye he gave over to Dubitsky as Dubitsky made that final cut.
But full credit to the Polish man.
Yeah, absolutely.
He can, you know, lift his game all the time and...
oh, Redmer, what a race
Redmer Knoll, of course, we want to know what he has to say.
The start, the Stockson was really good, but with underhand, your X was a little bit sticky.
Yeah, it was hanging on the block where it was in, and through the whole race, I missed my rhythm a bit on that. So, yeah, a bit disappointed on that, and the single saw when, well, didn't work how I liked it.
But even it was 3 seconds above your personal best, so come on. The audience, I think they like it. Laat je horen. Redmer, good luck in the semi-final.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, and we're going back to the studio again.
Thanks very much. That, of course, was good luck for the bronze medal cut, or the small final. Yeah, he's still ready for a medal, and after seeing that performance, Troy, he has a good chance of taking home bronze today.
He's got a very good chance. It depends on who he's going to be ended up with, if it's going to be Ferry Swan or Matthias Klima. Either one of those guys is going to provide a tough challenge for him as they head towards that small final. But we still have one more semifinal to go, and that is between Ferry Swan and Matthias Klima. And now Matthias Klima, the only other guy, well, now one of 3 guys who have been under a minute, and like you mentioned, peaking at exactly the right time, and a national record actually with his 58.67. So great job.
And of course, if Ferry should win this semi-final, we again have the same final as we had in 2024 and 23, and that is Dubitsky versus Ferry Swan. And you've talked about it today. He doesn't want to make it a habit of ending up second.
No, not at all. I mean, Ferry Swan, highly motivated, highly skilled, very fit. You know he can do it. And obviously we know that Matthias can do it.
Oh, now we do. After that, it's quarterfinal.
We've seen it, you know. And this is no longer luck of the draw situations for him.
Oh,
You know,
no.
it's not because somebody got a
Not at all.
DQ or somebody got injured or anything like that. He is here by virtue of his own skills, period.
3 of our athletes have managed to be under a minute, and he's one of them.
Ferry Swan likes a clean house.
Oh, can you believe it?
Okay, gentlemen, warm up your swords. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Ooh, Ferry was quick. Matthias right there with him. He's got the cleaner cut. Both of them dropping at the same time. Off they go to the underhand chop. And the speed is evident for both of these guys. The motivation high for both. Who's over to the second side? It's going to be both of them at the same time again.
Unbelievable.
Here we go. It gets closer and closer with each heat that we get closer to that final. Ferry Swan, Matthias Klima hammering away. Will it be Matthias again through? He is
Oh,
there.
look at
He is
that.
close. Moving over to the single saw. Ferry Swan solid on the single saw, but he's got
Oh,
a bit
it's
of a
gonna
sticky one
hiccup.
to start things off with. The advantage goes to Matthias Klima here, and hopefully Matthias can just pay attention to what he has to continue doing as he now
Oh,
moves
that's a
over
big
to
lead.
the
That's a
standing
big
block
lead
chop.
for Matthias.
Matthias now on the standing block, and he is into it. He often does the
But
the
look
backup.
at Ferry Swan going out.
Oh yeah, and Ferry Swan is really working hard. Matthias on the second side of his standing block chop, but it looks like this one is going to go to Matthias Klima. He's almost there. 1 or 2 more drivers should do it. That's wiggling and waggling. There it goes. Matthias Klima is moving on to the final.
Wow.
And he will go up against
The one and
Dubinsky.
only.
Ferry Swan trying to get that time done, and you can see the disappointment is evident on his face after that run. Boy, Matthias Klima peaking at exactly the right time here.
Wow.
Can he keep it going for one more heat? Wow, wow, wow.
And the winner is Matthias Klima.
Both of those guys breathe in heavy. So let's take a look back at this here. So really, really nice start by Ferry Swan. He was quicker into the block than Matthias was by just a little tiny bit, but Matthias had a nice clean cut. You could see Ferry's cookie dropped maybe a hair earlier. On the underhand chop though, Matthias was just really, I mean, you can only call this motivation at the highest level. You know, Ferry Swan, he's got that quick hit. He's very accurate, even with those quick hits. Matthias onto the other side, and he just went for it. He was holding absolutely nothing back. If there's anything left in his tank for that final heat, I will be surprised. And then you can see he goes over, and Ferry trips over his axe ever so slightly as he heads over. And now you can see this cut from Matthias. Beautiful single saw. A bit of a sticky start for Ferry Swan on this one, and that was causing him problems, and that gave a huge advantage to Matthias.
And it stole his rhythm. It really stole his rhythm.
Absolutely, that's the perfect way to say it. It stole his rhythm, and Matthias is an absolute beast on the standing block, and that's what won it for him.
Wow. So there we have the brackets. As we can see, we will have the small final and the big final. Red McDowell versus Ferry Swan in the small final. And going for gold, Michael Dubinsky and Matthias Klima. All that coming up in just a few minutes. Try a lot to look forward to, just like our guest. Yes. Spike Milton has joined us. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
This competition has been crazy so far. We've lost the voices twice, I think, because there were so many close decisions. How entertaining was that for you so far?
Oh, it's absolutely thrilling. You know, there's nothing splitting these guys, and especially when you're getting down to the smaller heats.
And Troy, you know, he's been shouting, he's been going wild. He's been here for quite some time, but I mean, say yourself, Troy, you said you haven't seen anything like this before.
No, I mean, these heats have been incredible. I'm still getting goosebumps and my heart's still pumping because of the way these heats have gone. And I mean, you've been around the sport years longer. You participated yourself. Are you having that similar kind of feeling, or was this something that you were expecting from these guys?
Oh, I knew from the very start of today of what the lineup was. It was hard to say who was going to go out of the time trials, let alone where we are now. Pretty much predicted the final four here. Yeah, I mean, the whole experience for everybody here is not only thrilling, but it's riveting as well. And the thing is, they're great tacticians now. They're putting everything behind everything, and it's all about desire now, who really wants it.
Yeah, I think that puts it perfectly to the point. We've seen a lot of strategy at the beginning, at least it felt a bit like this. We've seen a new style of the youngsters, you know, competing in their very own way, but now you have Dubitsky in the final again, who's been there for many, many years. Matthias, somebody you said at the beginning could be one of those new contenders, but to me now everything is open, everything is possible.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at it, I mean, Matthias Klima, I mean, he's an awesome axeman. I mean, his style, he's just, I've seen him flourish and grow into this, you know, magnificent competitor now. And he's a real strong thinker. He just keeps going up the gears. And don't put Michael Dubicki off. I mean, you know, the guy has changed a lot about his style. They're all chopping really clean, good lines, good angles, and a fitness level. And like, you've got two people in the final with complete desire, for sure.
Just one last thing here really quickly, because now, you know, we've got the European trophy. The top 10 guys are going to qualify for the World Trophy, which is going to happen next year. But we also have one more major event coming this year, the World Championships, the team and the individual. Talk a little bit about what we can expect there, because that's going to be a big event this year as well.
Oh, for sure. Down in Milan. I mean, what a beautiful place to host the World Championship. Not only the individuals, but as you say, the team relay. Yeah, you always expect a lot from the Southern Hemisphere, but, you know, America really, really starting to show some shining, really bright athletes now. And, you know, the whole standard throughout Europe has really picked up. You know, don't write anybody off. That's all I can say. Come and watch.
I love that. Don't write anybody off. We've been talking a lot about the wood as well, Spike. This is very important to make sure that the level that we see today is possible. What can you tell us about the wood management?
Oh, absolutely. You know, we've worked a lot with a supplier this year, and myself and Nathan Waterfield went over to the main yard, and we spent, you know, more time actually selecting with no pressure. We've got a great team there with BJ Events, and we put it together, and this is the best, fairest wood I can honestly say that has ever appeared on any big stage for STIHL Timbersports.
And I think we have some pictures that we can show our audience just to get a bit of a feel how important wood management is.
We at STIHL Timbersports pride ourselves that all wood is sustainably grown, harvested and recycled to minimise the overall amount of wood processed. Firstly, this popular wood is grown on certified plantations. Secondly, the white pine for our sawing disciplines is only sourced from certified forest management. After all our STIHL competitions, all the spent wood is collected and recycled right down to the wood chips and sawdust, which, for example, is converted into renewable energy in the form of wood pellets for biomass. We quest to find certified partners. This ensures that all newly planted trees are nurtured and managed, promoting maximum efficiency and sustainability for the future conservation of our valuable forests.
Therefore, as you can see, with good harvesting practices and good management with silviculture, the ground is quickly replaced by new trees, or could even be used for arable for farmers and future rotations.
things are getting more and more exciting. It's always great to have Spike with us. And you talked to him about something special that's coming up at the end of the year. How much are you looking forward to the World Championship in 2025?
Oh, I'm looking forward to it a lot. The Team World Championship and, of course, the Individual World Championship. Will Team Australia do it for a 6th time? You know, the Americans won the Individual World Championship last year. So are the Europeans going to take it back? Is there going to be a Canadian in the mix? Will Australia or New Zealand step up to the plate in that case?
Questions after questions.
Questions arise. It's mad. And, you know, all of those questions just make it that much more exciting, and the energy at the World Championship that much more fun, and I'm really looking forward to it. It is a great time.
Hey, if you want to know what he is talking about, take a look at this. Then you'll understand. Take a deep breath, everyone. We're ready for the small final. Who's going to go home with the bronze medal? Troy, I want to know before
I don't
the
have
race.
any coins to toss in the air right now or darts to throw at the screen, but between these two, the way they've been competing today, it could be either one of them. I mean, basically, from the time trial on, you know, you could have chosen any one of those athletes out there to take this overall win today, or to be in this position here. That is where the level is at. It's so incredibly high among all of the top 20 guys that were here. But we are down to the last 4. This pairing here in the small final between Redmer Knoll and Ferry Swan. And the next heat is their big final between Dubitsky and Matthias Klima. And will Matthias Klima claim his first ever European trophy is the question. I bet you dollars to donuts his heart is pumping right now. He's probably back there doing deep breath exercises just to calm himself down a little bit.
So either Redmer or Ferry going to take home a wonderful trophy. The other athletes, he's going to say he had a great time, but just ending up 4th. That's not what you want to do. That's not what you want to go home with.
Warm up your swords.
What's the old song? You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Yes, it's a bit like that, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, wow. And I really like both athletes. So I don't want to take anyone's side. I just want to enjoy this small final. Redmer Knoll, Netherlands versus Ferry Swan, Sweden.
Timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, Redmer in quick. He was in very fast. It's a clean cut for Redmer, and they're heading over onto the underhand chop at the same time with each other. Ferry Swan using that pace that he likes so much. Redmer Knoll looks like he slowed his pace down a little bit here, so we'll see if Ferry gets over to the other side. Oh, interesting. Redmer Knoll onto the other side, about 2 drivers ahead of Ferry Swan onto that second side, and looks like Redmer might get through there quick, and it's even heading over to the single saw. This could be trouble for Redmer here, as Ferry Swan is an excellent single sawyer. Redmer looking very smooth though. and Ferry Swan halfway through, 3/4 of the way through. Redmer's catching up there, and they both drop the cookie at the same time.
This is incredible. This is incredible.
That was a fast cut from Redmer Knoll. Will he take this bronze medal as they get onto that single or that standing block chop?
Ah, these guys are killing me. This is incredible.
Ferry Swan shortcut the first side. Redmer went a little bit deeper. Is Ferry Swan going to have enough to get through that second side and win it? Oh, Redmer Knoll's got it.
Oh, he's got it.
Knoll's got it. Another national record, 103.16. Oh, my goodness. But they're going to double check that block, and hopefully everything is good.
But he started off pretty slow. What a finale. What a finish from Redmer Knoll.
He cut deeper on the first side, and he maybe had 4 or 5 hits on that second side, and he went for the Hail Mary Haymaker hit, yeah? Oh, my goodness. Redmer Knoll, a bronze medal here today. Rick van Drielen straight in to give him big hugs.
And the winner is Redmer Knoll.
With another national record. Wow.
Fantastic. Redmer with a national record, and the jubilation from the audience here. Great job.
I think it's just been announced that this is a new national record.
All right, let's look at this here. So Redmer was really quick on that saw. It's interesting to note that he never really liked the stock saw before this event. Then he gets a world record in stock saw, which is completely mind-blowing, you know? And then he starts to perform like a magician with the stock saw in hand, and that helped him get to the underhand chop. Now, I thought he was cutting a little bit slower here, but his cuts were nice and
Ferry
clean
was
and
amazing
accurate.
in the underhand chop.
Yes, he was.
But the power of Redmer on that last drive.
And now here,
incredible.
It looked like Ferry was having a really clean cut, but Redmer was just so flowy, and all the movements were so beautiful. And Ferry was a little bit quicker, but Redmer had one of his faster single cuts there, and then he goes over with that final Hail Mary, and the bronze medal is his. So he is on the podium. He can be proud of that one. It was a great job today.
And let's find out what he has to say. He's going to be live
Redmer,
with Martin right now.
What a race again. Again, goosebumps. Man, look at the audience. How does it feel to win another heat?
Yeah, really good actually. I hate losing the other heat, the half final. I hate losing always, but the big heat is not so hard.
I think you can be proud, and the biggest fan is standing over there, your son. So, really enjoy, and yeah.
Yeah, this is the last interview this year.
No, the World Championships are coming, so we see you there, and we are going back to the studio again.
Yes, my last interview for the year. Well, we'll see. We will see, Redmer.
What a character.
Don't count your chickens before they hatched, right?
No, you definitely shouldn't.
No. What a great job by Redmer. So we'll see him on the podium today in third place, that bronze medal position.
Crowd is going to love that.
He said it himself. He hates to lose, but you know what?
Who
he can
doesn't?
be proud. A national record 2 times, or actually 3 times.
3
here.
times, yes.
And of course, the world record for stock saw yesterday. The people here are loving him, just loving him.
Understandably. And one more heat standing out. Yeah, we got this. The final.
Loose.
Oh, yeah.
All
Michal
right.
Dubitsky and Matthias Klima. Poland versus Czechia.
This should be a very, very interesting heat. A couple of big fellas going up against each other. Does Michal Dubitsky have enough left in the tank, or has Matthias Klima saved enough to be able to take out the big man and achieve his first ever European trophy, which would be a crowning achievement for him? He's been so close before on the World Trophy stage. He's done an excellent job, but that, as I said earlier, was by a hook or crook and a couple of mistakes from other people. Here, he has earned every bit of sawdust on that floor.
Very well said. So the silver medalists of the World Trophy 2023 versus the silver medalist of the World Trophy 2024.
Yes. Interesting.
Absolutely.
Very interesting the way you put that.
So you can say this format is definitely one they both enjoy. The youngster against the routinier.
Uh-oh, we may have a problem here. Dubitsky started his saw too early, and that means a DQ. Uh-oh.
No way.
Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh.
Oh, no way.
They might let it go.
Gentlemen.
They might let it go.
Warm up your shores.
Ah, interesting. So normally they have to wait. By the rules, they have to wait. So we'll see. It looks like they let this one go because of the pressure. I don't know, though. That's a tough call. Bart Janssen
ready.
usually is pretty sticky with this. Here we go.
3, 2, 1, go.
Nice, quick entry into the wood by Mika Dubitsky.
That's a beautiful cookie.
Yeah, very nice. And he heads over to the underhand chop. Matthias Klima right there with him as they both get going on that underhand chop. Matthias really putting it to it. Dubitsky a bit of a sticky axe there as he is on that first side. Matthias Klima switches over to the second side.
Putting on the pressure.
Did he shortcut that? No, it looks like a nice set of hits on that first side. Pretty well matched up with Dubitsky as he heads over to the single saw now.
Are you kidding
Advantage
me?
right now to Matthias Klima. Hopefully he doesn't panic and get too sticky on that saw, but he's got it running now. A couple of short, sticky hits there, but Dubitsky also had the same situation.
Both athletes feeling the pressure.
Dubitsky is fast, though, to the bottom. Matthias Klima has got to the bottom now, and he heads over to the standing block chop. Both of these guys are absolutely gutted from a day's hard work here. Matthias Klima, hard shot, big drivers on that first side. One more, he'll switch to the other side. He's going to try and catch up to the big man. Dubitsky almost there. Is he going to do it? He's going to done it. Mika Dubitsky, 105.02 wins it, and Matthias Klima gets the silver medal here.
Oh, he said, I won. Did you see? I think he's...
But I think that the issue here is whether or not they feel like an infraction was broken here, and the saw starting early. And that's what the discussion is about right now at the back between Andrew Hall and Bart Janssen. And so, if I remember the rule book correctly, by rule of law, starting that saw before it's given warm up your saws counts as a DQ, or at the very least in an event like this where...
The winner is Mikhail Dubicki.
Okay, so I guess they discussed it through, and they feel like that's okay. And yeah, you can see the two guys there talking it. I mean, Matthias does have the option to appeal, but who wants to do that to get a gold medal on appeal? So I think I would have to probably speak with Bart Janssen myself and see, what he says about this situation, because the rules have changed, and they do change from time to time, so I don't know where the rule stands on that anymore, to be honest with you. But we can see here, as though both of these guys were really getting into it. A bit of a sticky axe there by Mika Dubitsky, and Matthias Klima was quicker through the underhand chop and headed over to the single. But you see here, he got sticky on the first pull, and Dubitsky got a bit of a stick here, and then pulled out and was faster on the single saw. He's very, very good with the single saw.
And of course, once he has an axe in his hand, he is a beast.
Yeah, and I mean, Matthias did a good job to try and catch up to him, but he was just one or two drivers too far ahead here. So Dubitsky takes this one down. The controversy for me, at least, and I'm going to have to talk to Bart, as I said, personally outside of the event here. The controversy for me is the starting of the saw before the actual signal was given by our judges.
And Troy, we have Dubitsky live on stage now, so maybe they're going to talk about exactly this issue.
Congratulations with your title again. How are you feeling?
Oh, very nice. Super. I'm very happy today.
Yes. Again, European trophy winner of this year. I hope you had the public behind you.
Yes, I think. I love the public. The best public in the world.
Laat je horen voor Michael. Congratulations. You are going backstage, and we are going back to the studio again for the last time.
For the last time, yes.
Is that good or is that bad? I'm kind of sad that it's over. And we've had so much drama today.
Has
crazy.
there ever been drama? It's been one of the crazier European trophies that we've dealt with so far. Martijn has done a great job with the interviews all day long, so big thank you to him for that work on stage today. But, you know, all of the athletes, we have to give them a big kudos for what they've done out there today. They made this event so exciting right to the very end, and even with the last little drama that we had with the saw start, mind blown. What a great day today.
So here's the final results.
Yes.
Don't forget to stick around because we've got the winner's ceremony coming up, but of course we want to know who the 10 athletes are that we're going to be sending to the World Trophy next year, and these are the results. So of course Michael Dubitsky as the winner, Matthias Schliemer the runner-up, Red McNoll, the bronze medalist, and we have Ferry Svan and Emil Hansen, the two Swedes. Simon Grönwald has made it, Danny Martin has made the cut. Olli Reinhardt from Switzerland will be part of this, and the two Belgians, Koen Martens and the youngster
Camille van Rendonk.
Yes,
Great.
Congratulations. Feel a bit sorry for Glenn Penlington, who just misses out, but that's the tough rules that we have, and we can only send 10 Europeans to the World Trophy. Congrats to every single one who's made it. And Troy, winner ceremony coming up in just a few moments.
Yes, the winner ceremony.
Also something nice at the end of the day.
We always love the winner ceremony because there's always some sort of a drama that happens up there, whether it's somebody not being able to crack the bottle of champagne open.
Which is the biggest drama, of course. Yes.
Or going to the wrong side of their podium. Everything
We've
in
seen
Indy
it
can
all.
happen. It's just like the competition. The winner ceremony is a surprise every time.
And that's coming up very, very soon.
Maybe we could check out, if we have a moment, and I don't know if our guys in studio, the upcoming live streams.
That
are
would be
on their
amazing,
way,
yes, because there's a lot of Steel Timbersports coming
a lot
up.
of stuff coming up our way, yeah.
With the Grande Finale, of course,
Right.
the World Championship in Milano, Italy.
Milano, Italy, in 25, 26 of October, 24, 25. I would need the graphic to remember that. Here it comes. There, 24, 25. Thank you very much for that.
man,
So
yes.
our team world championship on the 24th and the individual world championship on the 25th via live stream, of course. Then the Australian Pro Championships on the 13th of September. The
DACH Pro
Germany,
final,
Switzerland, and Austria final coming up as well on the 30th of August. And we are just witnessing the European trophy here. There's also going to be the Canadian Nationals as well, but we're not getting a live stream of that, unfortunately. So that's also going to play a factoring role into who's coming over from Canada to compete in the World Championships in the individual disciplines. So yeah, lots of sports still to come for you folks out there that want to watch. And if you are in Milan on the 24th and 25th
say hello
of
to us.
October, come on over, say hi to us. More dates are at data.steel-timbersports.com, and I do believe you can also still get tickets for the World Championships at steeltimbersports.com.
Not a lot of tickets left, but there are some tickets left, so this would be a good moment to grab them. You mentioned the overseas athletes. Maybe we can explain how many of them will be joining us in Milano for the World Championship.
We'll get one Australian, one New Zealand, one Canada, and one American. So we'll have 4 athletes coming from overseas, as well as 8 athletes from the European rankings. And as Italy is the host nation, an Italian athlete will automatically be qualified to compete.
So it very much looks like that we're going to have the winner's ceremony.
Looks like we're ready.
in just a few moments. At the beginning, we're just going to have bronze, silver, and gold on the podium and on stage. But at the end of the winner's ceremony, I've just been told everybody's going to join in for one big champagne party.
Oh my goodness, it's going to be a gong show.
So if it looks like if I might have to leave, you know where I'm going.
Yeah, I know. You're running for cover to get away from the champagne shower. You want to keep that hat nice and clean.
Yes, I do. I do.
All right. Let's head up onto the stage and get ourselves ready for our top 3 and our awards ceremony. Oh, we're staying in the studio. Okay,
oh, that's
we're staying in the studio.
That's lovely.
Why not?
Anything else you want to know from us? The athletes, have we mentioned the top 10? Yes, we have. Maybe we should.
Yep.
we can do that again with Camille van Remdonk and Koen Martens, 2 Belgians. Just 1 Swiss competitor, that's Oliver Reinhardt. Just 1 German, which is a bit of a surprise with Danny Mott. Szymon Grönwald and Michael Dubicki from Poland. Ferry Swan and Emil Hansen from Sweden, and Redmer Knoll from the Netherlands, as well as Klima Matthias, who we've just seen claiming the silver medal from Czechia. You can hear things are getting loud because the winner ceremony has already begun.
Yep, they're bringing all the guys up.
Maybe we get the chance to take a look at the stage and celebrate all our athletes that have been competing here at the European Trophy 2025 in Lage Vuursche. Here we go.
And of course, on stage, as has been the whole weekend, John Bosmans and Atalia Gross from STIHL Netherlands, taking care of the awards being given to all of the athletes as they come out onto stage. And there you see Alex Maurice as he comes out onto stage as well. Really gutted for Glenn not being among those top 10, because he definitely deserves a spot to be in there. And yeah, I mean, you know, that's the way the rules are set up. Hopefully in the future we'll be able to bring in more guys and have a larger time trial.
But what about this man? Only 18 years of age and already making it to the World Trophy. That must be a great feeling tonight, you know, when you lay down in bed and think about what you've achieved. So that's
an exceptional talent, and that exceptional talent is going to be guided along by this exceptional talent, Koen Martens.
What a duo, by the way. That's a great promise for the future. And always smiling, so positive, this guy.
Yep, the smiling Buddha, I called him. That's my new nickname for him. Ollie Reinhardt, another great guy.
Getting stronger and stronger.
Getting stronger and stronger.
Can't wait for season 25-26.
He's been impressive this year, Danny Martin.
Wow.
You mentioned at the Germany-Austria qualifiers.
Both semifinals, he won by I don't know how many points. Really, really impressive, especially his developments.
Yeah, nice to see. And I mean, you know, he's been really working hard to get there. And of course, this young man here, Szymon Grönwald, just missing it by a hair today. But boy, we're going to see him on the podium a lot more in the future.
He felt like he was already there, and then he wasn't. That's also a tough cookie.
Yeah, but you learn how to lose to learn how to win, and that's just the way it is. I mean, you can't call him a loser. There's no way about that. But,
no way.
You know, I wouldn't want to call him a loser to his face, at least. But you know, you have to have these moments of disappointment, so that when you do get those moments of highs and you have the win, you can really cherish them more than if it was just like an easy win every time.
Just 3 more athletes missing here at the STIHL Timbersports European Trophy 2025. What a weekend for this guy, huh? How about that for a weekend, Troy, huh?
Yeah, good weekend for Redmer Knoll, yeah?
Winning the Benelux. Cutting a world record and then taking home bronze at the European Trophy. Could be worse.
I'll be honest, I had him atop the podium. He was my pick to win this one just because of the way he's been performing lately. But I'm sure he's happy to be where he's at right now. And you know that that's going to give him that motivation to get even farther along. And this guy was impressive today.
Oh,
wow. The only other guy up until that round where Michael Dubicki was under a minute to have a 58-second time. I mean, amazing run for him. And only 3 guys this weekend under a minute.
Yep.
And Matthias Klima is one of them.
Well done, sir. Done it again.
I think that's a hat trick for him, isn't it?
Yep.
He is the 3-time defending European trophy champion.
The Axe Machine has done it again. Fantastic scenes.
It really could have gone either way there for that top spot. I mean, really.
That's what I promised
and
you.
All of the guys running for it.
Oh, wow.
Alessandro, hey, give me some of that.
Now they're returning. Everybody's back on stage now. No more champagne shower.
There's no more bubbles in that bubbly to spray. So, yeah. Need to get the Magnum bottles if we really want to soak everybody, right?
Now that was fantastic to watch. What a great competition.
Yes. All right. Excellent, excellent competition. What a day here in the Netherlands. It has been fantastic competition. It kept us on our toes, that's for sure, Floaty, hey?
Oh, wow, it really did. One of the best European trophies
Yes.
I've seen. And yeah, STIHL Timbersports has done it again. What an exciting Sunday afternoon. So many highlights, Troy.
Oh, my goodness, so many highlights.
And with the best highlights of the day, of course, we want to say goodbye. Hope to see you guys soon. And that's it for today.
Till next time. Ciao.